Hi guys, welcome back to FlexForm. My name is Shan and we're in the Jaya Aerial Lab in Lisbon, Portugal, filming another flex routine. Today it's all about lower back and hips. Tight lower back and hips is a really common problem and it's probably ruining the way you move or the way you stretch. No matter how many stretches or exercises or gym workouts you're doing, your lower back and your hips are probably preventing you from moving in a pain-free and comfortable way. So let's unlock them, let's take it nice and deep and really lubricate the joints and try to open up the middle section of our body so we can move a bit easier. Okay, so let's come onto a mat. We're going to start just with a nice gentle movement, my favorite, called the zombie circles. If you've done my class, you might have done this before. We are just going to stand nice and relaxed. Our arms and our shoulders are heavy. I want you to think about the weight being in your hands. We're going to start tracing our body down to the side. So my head is heavy like a zombie. I'm falling to the side. I'm then going to start circling my body forward with my head and shoulders really loose and heavy. Good, and I'm more or less just drawing nice big circles with my body. As I come up, I'm looking at the ceiling. Good, and my arms and my head are the weight. So keep your knees gently bent. We can just do nice big circles here, going around and back. Good, you can take it a little bit deeper, so bend your knees more to lean forward. Good, let's meet back in the middle. Getting the other direction. So let's head, shoulders first. Drop to the side and slowly circle forwards. And then back. Good, bending your knees so it's nice and relaxed. Good, this is a really nice exercise just to really feel where you're feeling tight today. So for me, as I circle forwards, I can feel it between my shoulder blades and in my lower back here. Good. Some of you might feel it more in your legs or your neck. And down. Beautiful. Good, let's meet back in the middle. Oh, hope you don't feel too dizzy after that. Ooh. Okay, let's come to the side. I'm going to keep my legs open a little bit wider than my hips. My hands are going to be supporting my lower back with my fingers facing down here. I'm going to pull my shoulder blades together, so I'm squeezing my elbows back and it's opening my chest. Yeah, like this. Good. Okay, keep this position. We're going to lock our knees nice and straight. I'm going to start pushing my hips forward and opening my chest to the ceiling. Because we're using our hands, it is very supported, so you go as far as you can. Squeeze your shoulder blades, don't let them come open to the side. It's a lot harder on your back. Keep your elbows together for support. Good, let's stand up straight. Fold forward at your hips, keep those elbows together, and let's bend as far as your hamstrings will allow you to. Good, coming up, let's flow between these shapes. So first the supported arch position. Folding forwards. Good, one more. Beautiful, keep your arms here. Stay low with your body. We're going to bend our knees as deep as you can. Good, really warm up the hips. Now keep your body down, slowly straighten your legs. Good, and two. And straighten. Last one, and bend. Wow. And straighten, good. Let's release our hands now. We're going to turn our feet to the outside. So I'm opening my knees here. I'm now going to walk my hands over to one foot. Show you from this way. So here, opening my feet, walk my hands over to the one side. Okay. Now I'm going to bend the opposite leg. So my hands are at my right foot. I'm going to bend my left. Good, as far as I can. Try to push my shoulders almost towards the floor. and then straight. Okay, so I'm bending the opposite leg, creating the space along the side of my body, and straight. Good, and 3, and straight. Beautiful, walk your hand to that side. Same thing, now my hands are on the left, my right knee will bend. So bend, and straight. Bend, and straight. Good, and bend, and straight. Oh, nice guys, bring your hands back to the middle. Let's come all the way down onto the mat. We did those exercises quite fast because they're more of a warming up, lubricating the joint sort of exercise, okay? Now let's come onto our back to do a little bit more mobility of our hips. So laying down nice and slowly onto your back. Okay, I'm going to pull one knee into my chest and one leg is extended long. Okay, I don't want this leg on the floor. I want it to be slightly lifted off of the floor so that hip flexor is active. Okay, so it's not just relaxing. The hip flexor is engaged. I'm flexing my foot, both feet, so my legs are active here. I'm gonna pull this knee into my chest and then I'm going to swap my legs, push them away from each other like I'm pushing that foot through water or something that is thick. Good, and swap. Keep the hip flexor active. Beautiful. And 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8, 9, keep your feet flexed, and 10. Cool, good, both knees into your chest. Okay, now we're taking our legs straight up above our body. Our arms can be on the floor just to support us. We're gonna do a little bit of a rotation in our hips, doing big circles with our legs. So first I want you to think of your toes coming forward towards you. They might not move that far, that's okay, but just bringing them forward. So trying to close at your hip flexors. Now we're going to open our legs. Good, and then we're drawing a circle. So I'm opening them and taking them away from my body. Good, then closing them and bringing them back to the center. Okay, don't take them too far away from you because then that's going to become a really hardcore ab workout. By all means, if you want that, go for it. But we're circling our legs and then bringing them back to the middle. Okay, keep your lower back flat. You have your hands to support you here. We're opening our hips, drawing a circle, and then back. Okay, 2 more. If you want to go deeper, you can. So toes towards your face. Big circle with your legs, like you're opening into a straddle. Close your legs and bring them back to the middle. Last one. Close and up. Okay, reverse. Legs go away from you. Open them. Good, bring them towards you. Close and repeat. So like backward circles. Beautiful. And 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. Oh, my hips are warm already. Doesn't take much. Good, give them a little shake. All right, one more active position while we're here, then we'll get into our stretches. I'm gonna connect my feet together and lay in like a bit of a butterfly or a froggy position. So where my knees are opening. My hips are still on the floor, my feet are on the floor. This is gonna be an active push using our glutes to lift our hips off of the floor, but because our knees are folded to the outside, as we lift up, it's like this, this opposite active, I don't know, push. As we activate up, our knees are gonna be opening. We're forcing them open, okay? So options, either use the floor to support you or a bit more of a challenge, no hands. We're going to squeeze our bum, tuck your pelvis under, and let's push our hips off of the floor. Go as high as you can. Good, and then slowly down. And release, good. All right, let's lift. Pushing your hips up, you should feel your knees are kind of opening. And down, nice, good, and 3, down, and 4. Down. Good, and 5. And down. Beautiful. Bring your knees back together. Good, use your knees just to rock yourself up to sit. Yeah. Amazing. So we always do mobility and some strengthening exercises because we can't just stretch and loosen really weak hips or weak joints in general. So we always need to activate the area and do a little bit of strengthening. So now that we do our deeper stretches, our body is ready for it and it's not going to freak out or break. Okay, let's come onto our hands and our knees. From this position, I'm going to step one foot out to the side. So I'm moving it away from my other foot. Good, and then I'm going to lift my knee up. So I'm kind of in a little bit of a side lunge position here. If it's easier, think about doing a fire hydrant where you lift your knee up and then just step your foot down. Cool, so this knee is facing this way, the other one's facing the front. From here, I'm going to push my weight back into my heel, like sitting down on my foot. I can open my shoulders or chest towards the floor, but the main thing here is to try to push this knee backwards. So I'm really trying to fold it back behind me. Go. Good, so the deeper you fold, the more you can open that hip. If you need help, if it's a bit too stiff, you can push it with your hand. Cool. Good, all right, let's put our hands in the middle. Lifting up now, back to that first shape. Okay, now we're going to the side. So this foot that's on the side, I'm going to push my hips in that direction. Good, and now pushing my hips down towards the floor and trying to open the opposite hip, the one that's on the knee. Amazing, feel that here. Good. Okay, we're going to now bring our body back into the center. Keep that foot where it is. Now step your hands one step in front. I'm going to fold my knee down and come onto my stomach. Good, so I'm kind of like in this with knee to the side, like a bit of a surfer about to pop up position. Okay, from here I'm going to push and open my chest and at the same time bending this back leg. So I'm finding the extension through my hip flexor, a little bit through my back. Go as far as you can. You don't need to lock your arms. Just trying to connect the top of your head towards your foot. Beautiful, fold down. Okay, now use the hands at your shoulders. We're going to push ourselves all the way back up and straight into that first position. So this knees to the side. I'm pushing my weight all the way back, folding that knee open. Again, if you need, your hand can push a little bit more if you're a bit stiff. Good, let's come back to the middle. Now our weight goes towards our foot, so we push our hips to the side. Try to open those hips towards the floor. Good, let's come to the middle. Hands step forwards. We come down to our stomach. Our knee folds down. So it's like our inner thigh on the floor. So this is already opening our hip here. As we lift our chest and bend our back leg, we're further opening that hip and also the hip flexor of the other side. Beautiful, let's come down. Hands under your shoulders. Let's push ourselves all the way back. We're going to swap to the other leg. So put that knee down. Now step the other one out. I'll show you this from the front now. So this leg will open and then your foot will step. Okay, so our toes are facing away from us. First exercise is pushing our weight backwards this way. Go trying to fold over your leg. This knee can try to push back as much as you can. All right, take a moment, try to relax your upper body. Good, okay, let's come up. Now we push our weight towards that foot. So I'm going that direction, pushing this way, pushing that hip down. Beautiful. Okay, back to the middle. Now our hands go one step forwards. We bring our body down, fold that leg down. Okay, I'm going to push up with my chest, try to bend my back leg up this way. Let's come down and let's push all the way back to that first position. So I'm pushing up, sending my weight backwards. Good, coming up. Take our weight towards the foot, so to the side. Beautiful. All right, our hands in front. Bring your body down, fold that knee down. Ready, let's push up from our shoulders. Foot lifting and squeezing up this direction. Good, and down. Nice, let's push all the way back. Yeah. Bring your knees together here. Good, let's give them a little massage. So I'm going to connect my knees together, hands in front. I'm just going to dip my hips down to one side. Good, and then the other side. Should even our hips out again. And go. Lovely, guys. Good. All right, let's come back onto our glutes, sitting in a cross-legged position. A froggy position. So we're trying to connect the soles of our feet together and open our knees. Okay, it doesn't matter if your knees are up here, it's totally fine, but your soles of your feet together in this little frog, or some people call it butterfly. Don't know, depends where you're from. Okay, it's a fun little exercise. This is going to be a bit of movement and mobility in our hips. You can either hold your feet if you want, but I think we can all do it just by holding our hands together. We're going to lean over onto one glute, so onto one side. This leg is going to lift. We're going to try extend out to the side, lock that knee. Good, and bring it back together and go to the other side. So onto the other glute. Lift that leg, extend it away from you. Really try to lock the knee. Once again, doesn't matter if it's low or up, just squeeze and bring it in. Change sides. Good, and swap. Beautiful, one more. And swap. I think this is fun. Cool. All right, back to the middle. Now they're a little bit warm. The hands are going to go behind our head here. So again, doesn't matter if your hips are up here or they're open. Same movement applies. I'm going to start bending forward towards my toes. Okay, so the goal is to lean forward in this position. It might be a very small movement for you, or you might be coming all the way down. Everyone's at a different stage in their flex, and then up. Okay, just fold as far as you can. Good, even if you're restricted in sort of this position here, try to at least drop your head. Good, so drop your head. So there's a little bit of weight in front of your hips. Okay, and up. Good, and leaning forwards. And up, good. Let's do two more. Leaning. And up. Good, coming all the way forwards. We're gonna hold it here now. Good, and extend your arms over your head. You can do it for 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Good, let's lift up. Yay. Okay, take your legs straight out to the sides, hands are back behind our head. Try to sit really tall on your sit bones here so you're not rounding, just sit up tall. If you need to bring your legs closer together, it's totally fine. We're going to take elbow down to the side. This top arm is going to reach above our head like we're stretching in the morning, reaching for the side. Good, hand back and swap. Okay, reaching over and back and swap. Good, and changing. And change. Change. Good, last one. So reach as far as you can. And swap. Good. Okay, back to the middle. Now we're going forwards. You can do it. So if you need, think about your knees are going back to help support your weight. Hands at your head. Think about leaning forward at your hips and up. Okay, you go as far as you can. It doesn't matter if it's tiny. We're still moving in our hips. Forwards and up. Cool. And 3. And up. 4. And 5, coming down and straight arms for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, it's hard for everyone, not just you. Cool, bring your legs together. Okay, let's get into our last deep stretch of the class. Now that we're all active and warm and mobilized, we're going to come up onto our knees. I'm going to take one leg in between my hands. So let's start from a plank, lift one knee in between your hands in this position. Okay, I'm going to allow my knee to come to the side in this shape, but my back leg is really locked. Okay, so I'm pushing my knee over to the side and my foot kind of rolls to the side of my foot. When I do that, I want to try to drop my hips, and then I'm pulling it back into a lunge. Okay, the back leg is locked. I'm dropping my hips down to the side and back into a lunge. Go, and 3. Good, have that tension in the back leg here. And in, and 4. And in. Good, last one, and 5. And up. Amazing. Okay, now we've opened that hip. We're going to come into a pigeon position. So I'm trying to bend this leg underneath me like this. Okay, this can be a difficult position if you've got really restricted hips. So I encourage, if your hip is struggling to touch the ground here, or you feel like you're really back on your glutes and your knee is just open to the side, I'd love for you to sit on something. So think a cushion, a pillow, or something like a blanket. You're gonna put it underneath your hips here. One leg will be in the front and one leg behind you, okay? So it's bringing your knees closer together, lifting your hips up just so you can actually sit up and look forward rather than falling out on your glute. Okay, so if you need this, or it just makes you feel more supported and comfortable, please use it. You can also use more height depending how tight you are. So you could stack 3 pillows on top if you need to. Cool. Hands at our ears. Let's lean forwards and up. Okay, you should feel this opening through your hip. We are moving in and out of a deep stretch, not just holding into it. 3. And up. And 4. Good. Beautiful, and 5. Let's come all the way down, release your hands and touch the floor. Good, if you can, onto your elbows, otherwise just your hands. Let's take 5 deep breaths here. Go. Okay, let's come back onto our hands. Okay, staying in this position, we're doing a funny little thing. I'm going to bend my back leg, so it's just kind of bent and flopped to the side. Now my goal is I'm going to try to twist my hips towards my front foot over here. So I'm twisting in that direction and trying to lift my foot in the other way. So I'm pushing my hips across, trying to lift this foot up. And it's like I'm pushing my hips down towards the side and then release. Okay, so 2 and release. I can do this without the box. And 3 and release. 4 and release. Good, and 5, we're going to try to hold our foot up. If you can, I want you to reach your foot with the opposite hand. So you're reaching around behind your back. If you can't touch, it's fine, just reach for it, but try to look with your head. Reach for your toes. We are going to hold here for 5, breathe, 4, and look at your hand, 3, and 2, and 1. Cool. Nice work, guys. Good. All right, we can now come out of this. So really slowly lift yourself up. Good. I encourage you, if you used a box or support, use it for the whole duration of the exercise. I know I removed it, but it's just for an example if you need it. Okay, and you can use it for both sides of your hips so they're even. Okay, let's bring the other leg in. First, we start in this high lunge position. Okay, locking my back knee. I'm letting my knee come out to the side and my foot rolls over towards the small toe. I'm going to drop my hips down and up. Go, and 2. And up. Good. And 3. And up. 4. And up. Back leg is strong. And 5. Good, coming back in. Get into this pigeon pose, so cross that leg under your body. Again, if you feel like you're falling back onto your glutes, you need to sit up on something. So grab that blanket again or the pillows. Okay, from this shape, hands at your ears. We're leaning forwards and up. Okay, and 2. And 3. All the way down to touch the mat. If you can, onto your elbows, but hands is fine. 5 deep breaths here. Try to relax your neck and your shoulders. Okay, let's push ourselves back up now. Okay, now that twisting position. So I'm going to bend my back knee. My goal is to push this hip towards my foot. So I'm like pushing my body in this direction, trying to lift my foot up. So I'm pushing this way, trying to lift that foot up at the back, and then back down. Okay, so once again, if you're sitting up, you can still do the same thing. Push around and relax. 3. And 4. Cool. And 5. We try to hold this position here. I'm reaching with my opposite foot. If you can't grab, totally fine. Just try to look at your hand or twist to look at your foot. Reaching for your foot here. Good. And then try to open your shoulders. Let's hold for 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Release. Good. Let's come all the way back. Good. Let's bring our knees together. Bring them in front. Okay, last thing. Let's just roll our hips out side to side. Amazing. Well done, guys. Yeah, so these exercises really targeted deep in your hip and also the stretch through your lower back. So it's really loosening up that really stiff area a lot of us have, all through like our pelvis. Tightness in this area really affects our posture, but also the flexibility in our hamstrings and our hip flexors, of course. Good, so our hip mobility should be one of the most important things we're focusing on, but it is the thing that gets the most neglected because it's not very fun to stretch your hips, I must say. I like it now, but I understand through teaching my classes that there is a lot of pain, a lot of restriction, and it takes a lot of patience and a lot of breathing to kind of get through these stretches safely and slowly. So I recommend doing it in my classes rather than just stretching without having an idea of how to activate and hold your body in the right position. Cool. Well done, guys. Proud of you for being here. Your body thanks you. Try to keep regular with your flex training. Our flex is not just static stretches, obviously. We do a lot of active stuff, so it's really good to repeat throughout your week. After workouts, before workouts, after work, whatever you're doing, try to do it more regularly. I have heaps and heaps of videos on my channel of all different parts of the body. But thank you for being here, and I hope you feel really good.